Hi, everyone. My name is Max Block.
And I'm Jake Ahles, and together we are the co-founders of The Fair Trade.
The Fair Trade works with chefs from across the country to curate baskets of their favorite American-made products and partners with brands to curate culinary events and activations. Both aspects of our company are tied by one key principle: culinary adventure. So what is culinary adventure? For us, it's quite simple. Culinary adventure is a sense of wonderment and discovery through food.
So at The Fair Trade, for us, adventure and discovery really go hand in hand. Adventures lead to new discoveries, and discovery in itself is an adventure. And while most of the world has been geographically discovered for the last 100 years or so, the world of food is constantly being discovered and rediscovered, which makes food the perfect avenue for us to create a platform around adventure, discovery, and experience. Within this platform are two main factors: chefs and culinary artisans. Chefs provide an opportunity to experience cuisines and flavor combinations that we might not ever think to create ourselves, such as replacing the rice in sushi with a slab of watermelon, as they do over at Olmsted in Brooklyn. It's actually really good. Or poaching salmon in a licorice gel. Chefs are one of the main drivers, obviously, why we go out to restaurants, to experience new culinary adventures that we'd be hard-pressed to recreate ourselves at home. However, here at the Fair Trade, we are looking to do just that. Bring chefs into the kitchens of home cooks to teach them how to create restaurant-quality meals from the comfort of home. The other facet of culinary adventure for us is through culinary artisans. For those of us in the millennial generation, growing up, home cooking was often prepared with ingredients that were made from canned goods and other mass-produced products that became the staple of Americana after World War II. We'd go to grocery stores and be bombarded by products like Campbell's and Heinz products and others of that ilk. And even in restaurants until the last 10 to 20 years or so, in the proliferation of Alice Waters' ideals that cooking should be based around the freshest and finest ingredients, sourced both seasonally and locally, even top-tier restaurants were serving products made from mass-produced ingredients delivered by warehouses like Cisco. In the wake of the 2008 financial crisis, with people being let go from their 9-to-5s, a void opened in the marketplace for people to create lifestyles and careers around their passions and hobbies. One market sector that really took full advantage of this was the small batch artisan food movement. Nowadays, you can go to your local Whole Foods or even a Ralph's and find aisles and aisles of products made by small batch makers, from people hearkening back to recipes and from their mothers and great-grandmothers. Even at specialty food shows, like the specialty food show itself, that were once predominated by Latin American, European, and Asian imports, are now being taken over by American makers. With a reinvigoration of people being interested in skills of past generations, such as butchery, jam making, and revitalizing ancient grains, American-made small batch products are finding themselves back in the mainstream where they belong. One of the most beautiful aspects of this for us at the Fair Trade is your ability to eat your way across America. From the comfort of home, you can experience a strawberry rhubarb jam made by the Bang Candy Company in Nashville, chocolate from an amazing chocolatier we had the pleasure of meeting this past weekend, who's based in Detroit, or experience Sonora wheat flour, which is milled from a native North American grain that almost went extinct until recently, milled by Grist and Toll just down the street in Pasadena.
Of course, the other aspect to adventure is discovering new experiences. Today, we're more likely to take the wine and cheese pairing class, learn how to brew beer at home, or even master the butchery of a whole hog, just to be able to say that we did so. That extends to our lives at home as well. What was once private is now public. We've become accustomed to dinner parties centered on specific types of cuisine, or finding inspiration to eat out after watching a culinary documentary. For us at the Fair Trade, that's really what is special about it. We want to be able to provide resources to people to create lasting memories around food that can be shared with your loved ones. A lot's been said saying that food is the ultimate connector, and it's true. It really is. You can learn more about someone or somewhere through eating than by any other means. Food provides us a lens to have an authentic connection to someone or somewhere, a community that we've never touched before. Social media in the past 10 years has acted as a gateway to provide us an opportunity to check out the world in ways we've never seen possible. With 100 million monthly members on on Pinterest, excuse me, 190 million photos with the hashtag food on Instagram, and recipes from across the globe, Culinary Adventure is just a click or swipe away.
So with social media influencers such as Gabi Dulkin of What's Gabi Cooking and Natalie James from NJ in LA, social media consumers are able to embark on culinary adventures vicariously through these influencers from the comfort of home. With the swipe of a finger, you can experience street tacos in LA, to a body roti in Mumbai, to the latest creations from Rene Redzepi and chefs from across the world. So social media is really influencing people now to get out of their homes and embark on their own culinary adventures in the real world, leading to the intersection of travel and food. In a recent survey by the Harris Group, they found that 72% of millennials prefer to spend their money on experiences rather than things. And according to Taylor Smith, who's a CEO and co-founder of a brand called Blueboard, found that millennials are spending less on cars, TVs, and watches, and preferring to fund experiences such as renting scooters and traveling around Vietnam, rocking out at music festivals, or climbing Machu Picchu. So whether it's flying to Italy to eat at Osteria Francescana, going truffle hunting, or meeting up with a cheesemaker to learn how to actually make cheese, people are planning their travel itineraries based around where restaurants they want to eat at or where they can discover a culinary adventure they wouldn't have access to at home.
One of the most amazing aspects of the fair trade is our ability to travel the country and experience food through the eyes of others. We get to see from chefs in their kitchens, culinary artisans in their workshops, and communities on both a micro and macro level what food means to them. When we get to see someone who's inspired by a product, challenged by a kitchen recipe, or just inspired by a chef's story, for us, that's the ultimate culinary adventure. And for us, that's not lost on our chefs. When we were able to work with Matthew Accarino from SBQR in San Francisco, who was recently awarded their 5th consecutive Michelin star this past week, he made sure that every aspect of his collaboration spoke to the ethos that he has within his restaurant. He works exclusively with local farms and artisan makers, and partnered with a company called Spice Ace to craft a blend of flavors that spoke directly to the restaurant, which was, of course, called a Pacific Heights Spice Blend.
So the ideals that Chef Matthew Accarino, as well as our next speaker, Naisha Arrington, ever talented, who we had the pleasure of working with earlier last year, the ideals that they expressed in their kitchen and through the products that they featured in their collaborations with the fair trade really speak to the ethos of what we're trying to accomplish. A return to classic American culinary creativity and really getting people back home cooking again. Like America itself, the products that these small batch makers are creating are a blend of cultures and ethnicities and cuisines that are really giving a modern twist to some American classics, with a focus on using quality ingredients that are organic and GMO-free. Or as Michael Pollan likes to say, don't eat anything that your great-grandmother wouldn't recognize as food. So at the end of the day, for us, culinary adventure is really about connecting with the people and the world around us. And as Max mentioned earlier, the best way to connect with someone is to sit down and break bread.
Thank you.
Thank you.